Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone, as this program is about celebrating women worldwide. I am Constance Rabi, the Global Sustainability Expedition Leader and the Communication Manager at the U.S. Green Chamber of Commerce and the Global Climate Pledge. I am incredibly excited to welcome you to today's special webinar celebrating women in the field of sustainability. As we all know, sustainability is one of the most pressing challenges of our time, and women around the world have been at the forefront of creating meaningful change, whether it's leading innovative solutions, advocating for environmental justice, or driving sustainability practices across the globe. Women have proven time and time again that they are a pivotal point to shaping a greener future. Today, we're here not only to recognize these amazing women, but also to explore their stories, achievements, and the incredible work they continue to do. And to help us guide us through this conversation, I am honored to be co-hosting this event with Michelle Thatcher, the CEO of the U.S. Green Chamber of Commerce. Michelle's leadership and passion for sustainability have been instrumental in bringing us all today, and I can't wait for you to meet her as well. Before I give the floor, I want to remind everyone that this webinar is all about sharing knowledge, inspiration, and ideas. We encourage you to give us feedback. Please comment, share thoughts, and engage with us as we celebrate the women driving change in sustainability. So without further ado, I am going to hand it over to Michelle to tell us more about our incredible women.
Thank you so much, Constance. And I just have to give a huge shout out to Constance joining us from France today. And all of our women are joining us from all over the world. We have Subnam from Bangladesh, Lena from Colombia, Liz from Maine in the United States. So many, many thanks. I'm going to start by making introductions to Lena Paula Bautista Mendoza. I've been working on that. Who is a biologist, entrepreneur, and consultant specializing in sustainable tourism and regenerative business models. She is the director of Cámara Verde de Comercio de Colombia, which is the Green Chamber in Colombia. So she has been our partner for many, many years. And she is the Biodecora Colombia. She is the founder of the Biodecora, which is a pioneering regenerative travel agency. She is dedicated to transforming the tourism industry into a force for environmental and social regeneration. So I personally have had the privilege to witness how Lena has collaborated closely with indigenous nations across Colombia, integrating ancestral knowledge and cultural heritage into regenerative travel experiences and that honor the wisdom and strengthen the role as guardians of biodiversity. So as we traveled together to connect with her contacts with the MISAC community. In addition, in 2024, Biodecora was recognized with the Medalla al Mérito Turístico, the most prestigious tourism award in Colombia. So congratulations on that. Lena believes in the power of storytelling, so we cannot wait to hear her stories, community engagement, regenerative economies to reshape our relationship with the planet. So Lena, thank you so very, very much for joining us.
Thank you, Michelle. It's a pleasure. It's a very joyful moment for me. As we say, I am dichosa to be here with all these fabulous women and powerful women as you. And I'm very grateful for your invitation to be on this webinar. I feel very proud to share with you some experiences that we've been having in all these work with Biodecora and Green Chamber of Commerce and Cámara Verde in Colombia, which is my family and my regenerative family. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm going to share with you my presentation. So confirm if
Good.
you see,
Yeah.
please. Okay, excellent. So there is the sign that is time to start. Okay, I did this presentation based on my experience with indigenous communities, my experience with sustainable tourism and sustainable consultancy that I've been working since I finished my studies in biology, and the nature-based solutions that I'm facing at this moment in the evolution of Biotacora and Green Chamber of Commerce in Colombia. So very grateful to be here again. The purpose of my talk is to share my journey in regenerative tourism and sustainable business, exploring some of the roles of indigenous communities in the environmental restoration, and especially in what I am today, inspiring action through innovative models that integrate economy, culture, and nature. Obviously, full gratitude to Michelle and the organizing team, and to recognize the importance of women-led sustainability initiatives that I'm very proud to be here with all of you. Wait. Well, this is a resume of my profile. So Michelle already told you some of these things, but I'm going to pass this very fast, basically because I have something more interesting to tell you than myself. So about my journey and vision of sustainability and regeneration, there have been some points, very special points, especially with the organization that I'm working with still. So first of all, Biotacora, which is my enterprise that I created, that I founded with some friends, and they are that they are working for a less time than others, but the story behind its creation and evolution into a regenerative model has been very important for creating this vision of regeneration for my country and the communities that I work with, especially with friends. I'm doing a lot of friendship in all the places that I've been working as a consultant for tourism, sustainability tourism, especially here in Valle del Cauca, where I live. Is at the uh, western Colombia. So these places have a lot of problems like conflict and this kind of things that we've been facing through tourism as a solution for conflict and nature degradation. Sorry, my English is not the best. I haven't practiced for a while. I've been working very hard in Colombia and we don't have the opportunity to practice English, so I'm a little nervous with you, but I hope you understand what I want to say. The second point that I want to tell you is about the wisdom and knowledge from the indigenous people. All these community-based tourism projects with these communities that I've been working is the foundation of all the vision and all the knowledge that I have been trying to keep on my entrepreneurial path, and also in the models of regeneration for business in Cámara Verde. So it's very important to give credits to these people that are my friends, and I am always very proud to say that I have a biodiversity friends from not all not also not not only from human species, but also from another species. I have friends from all the biodiversity, so I feel very proud. I live with a pig. I live with some cocks and hens. I live with a cat, with two dogs, two dogs and two ducks. And I live with someone is missing, and peacock. So they are my friends, like to envision how to live in harmony with biodiversity is very hard, but I think that we should have an opportunity to make friendships in all the species. That's what we are missing, to be more sensitive about all the different types of living, that we need to make conversation, different type of conversations, but we need to understand and feel how they feel, and that's where we are missing in the path to through regeneration that our planet is calling us. The Cámara Verde is also a very important family in this path. Is the lab for transforming business towards sustainability models, especially in the partnership with organizations to foster resilient local economies. So this biodiversity family is around all the different perspectives and different professionals from different areas. So that's a conversation that I've been working on different cultures from all Latin America, in Chile, Peru, Mexico, and Costa Rica is starting also, and Brazil. So I think this huge family is a very important part of this vision through sustainability. And recently, I'm part of Access Learning as a director for the educational platform that is focused on nature-based solutions and the importance of training in climate change, biodiversity, and ecological engineering. It's how to use our mind, our intelligence, and all the engineering innovation to face all the the global problem that we are facing as a humanity. So I love this phrase because knowledge tell us how to do it, and wisdom tell us whether we should. So we cannot be only vision all the science path, but also the wisdom that is in the ancestral um, forms of life. And we are lucky that we have in Colombia, we have more than 70 indigenous people still alive, still talking in their own languages, which is the knowledge of the different cosmovisions from considering life in all these forms. And they are so different to the global thinking that we have in the Occidental thought. So I think that's where we need to work more these times, in the wisdom of our hearts, in the wisdom of our feelings as humans. So that is like the main insum. I don't know if I can say that, but the main knowledge or wisdom, as the word says, to make our decisions in every day that we face. Learning from the elders of indigenous peoples to return to the balance of living in harmony with nature. in common unity and good living. This is we need to go and talk to the elders that are in the jungle, that are in the mountains. They are still alive with a huge wisdom to share. They want to share with us all this balance of how to live in harmony, how to be in good living, and we need to return to this knowledge to get that in our daily life. And the method of these people to teach is the stories. So stories are very important to this time, and they have a huge knowledge to share about through their stories of life and their stories of living and their stories of these cosmovisions. It's not about all the magic that has these stories, but all the essence that is in these stories that we need to keep, and that makes memory, in our daily lives, and is going to be very important for making our decisions based on that wisdom. And we are connected in this connection of centers, like this huge tree is the main connection center of the ecosystems. So all these huge trees that still exist in our planet, they are like the elders of life. So we need to go there and see it and be familiar with all this huge ecosystem that is only one tree, and observe the nature and be connected with it, and try to. I feel very sensitive doing this, and I feel like I'm going to cry. So I need to be still for a moment, but I want to share that feeling that I feel in this moment. These are the roots of knowledge. They have all this knowledge in only one tree, and we just need to listen. We just need to feel this when we are connected with a huge tree, and start listening and see the birds. The birds are telling us in all these songs how to be connected to the earth, how to return to this wisdom, and and it's the same as I said about the elders in the indigenous people, and I know that you understand me. So return to the roots of knowledge, even in the living trees and in the elders. And so these are some of the key lessons and strategies for impact that I want to share with you. The first one is balancing economic development and environmental regeneration. It has to be measured by money. It has to be measured by peace. It has to be measured by happiness, by joy, by good relation with our nature and our environment. And the second one is the importance of multi-sector collaboration. Business, communities, governments build partnerships to scale impact. I think it is very important to contribute from our um, environment, our little ecosystem, personal ecosystem, to build this collaboration and scale that joy, scale that happiness, scale that wellness. If we have wellness in our business, it's going to be shared with all these stakeholders. The role of education in transitioning to a regenerative model is very important. That if we feel the call as regenerative and leaders, we need to educate be teachers in our ecosystems, in our personal ecosystem. So be teacher, teach others what you know. Don't keep the knowledge and your wisdom only for you. Share it with others. Foster innovation based on nature. If you see the nature has all the solutions and the solutions are already in harmony with nature. So keep an eye on the solution that already have the nature in their different ecosystem facing the same problems that we need to solve in our environments, in our houses, in our business. The nature already has the solution from many years before of our presence as humanity on Earth. Foster innovation based on nature. Okay, this is the
And
same, but
and Lena, just about 2 minutes left or so.
excellent. I'm just finishing. Include indigenous worldviews in sustainability decision making, because this is the knowledge from the territories that we are facing all the solutions for business that we are working on. So very important. We are all interconnected, and this is very important to have in mind always in all the solutions that we see, that we seek always. So this is how our interconnection of our decisions, of how we feel, how we do, and this is the thermometer to measure what we are doing, on how we are working on our projects. So the measure is the good living. How is this state of tranquility experience? How are you experience this tranquility in your business? Are you feeling joy? Are you feeling bliss, happiness, coherence, harmony, integration, and well-being? And related, and how do you relate with harmony with others and with the greater whole nature? Also, this I try to keep this thinking in my business. This is the model of my business, but we don't have time to share all the details. But this is how we try to keep this knowledge or this wisdom in our business. And this model was what give us the prize of the tourism merit medal of the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Tourism in Colombia, with all our allies, Cámara Verde, Access Learning, and NAT5 with the Biodiversity Credit Project. And well, finally is the call to action, the crucial role of female leadership in planetary regeneration. We feel more than men sometimes. We have this sixth sense, so work on that and rely on it. How every individual can contribute from their professional and personal spheres. All of us can do something very good and contribute, and the invitation to continue the conversation and collaborate. This is our social media, contact info, and you can follow us, and please feel free to come to Colombia and travel with consciousness and travel with the people that need to share with you how to live in harmony in all their territories in the rural areas of Colombia, as Michelle did. This of my background is a sacred lagoon in the Misak people, from the Misak people in Cauca. So I'm very happy to share this from this place. And I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lena. What a beautiful presentation. And I just felt every word of it. And I felt the emotions that you shared with us today. So thank you. And I think mentioning that we as women do have that sixth sense. I know men have it too. I don't want to, I don't want to take them out of that, but I think that we do.
Of course.
Yes, I do think that we access it a bit more, and we don't always think about doing that constantly within our business model. So I think it's really important for us to continue to do that. And I love the, that we're taking, how are we feeling of the harmony and the bliss, and are we in sync with that? And I know that I've struggled. I've talked with probably all of you here on this panel with some of my own personal struggles recently here in the United States of the next action, and really trying to find that sixth sense of, what do we do next? So thank you so much, Lena. And I know we have some great questions for you at the end. So thank you for sticking around. I'm going to introduce our next speaker. I'm so honored to present Ms. Sabnam Mostari. She is Bangladesh's first female triple accredited sustainability leadership coach. She holds a professional certified coach credentials from the International Coaching Federation and a practitioner of EAI for individuals and ITCA for team certifications from the European Coaching and Mentoring Council. With her 15 years of versatile experience, she empowers entrepreneurs and leaders through her firm D Leader, which I love the name. D stands for dignity. And I don't ever see this in the business world. So it was wonderful. So dignify your leadership. A former EMCC APAC ambassador in Leadership in Motion, country manager. She also teaches HMR at Stanford University in Bangladesh. Sabnam's coaching creates a safe space for clients to unlock their potential with dignity and authenticity. And similar to Lena, I have had just such great honor to travel throughout Bangladesh in some really challenging situations, and I have seen her leadership shine. She is so brave in the most difficult of situations that most of us would recoil in, and she's able to talk with just, it doesn't matter if it's a student at a university, to inspire them to do even tenfold of what they were doing before. But then also it could be the top leader at that university to make them braver. I witnessed that as well, to take action in a new way. So it is my true honor to introduce you to Sabnam, who I know is going to share her amazing story with us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Michelle and Constance, for your wonderful introduction. And Lena, I was into your story when actually Michelle calling me. I was still now into your story. It was so powerful and so much inspiring. I really felt goosebumps that I wish I can give you a hug. So so wonderful to be here. Actually, till now, it's really quite tough for me to share my own story in an open platform. So this is going to be maybe the first platform where actually I'm going to share my own story, because Michelle, when last time she was in Bangladesh, she was like in each meeting, she was trying to inspire me. Sabnam, it's time to share. And I was like, okay. It's a moment. It's not like I'm regretting to share. Actually, I feel like, is it enough to share? Something like that, actually. So first, yes, I'm really grateful to my Almighty to give me this opportunity to be here in this world. And I'm grateful to my family, friends, everyone to bestow their love, their trust. And it's not so big journey, but the path was quite tough. I know I am not such a person who is champion to the world, but in my whole journey, I can say that I fought with a lot of hurdles that actually enough to believe for me that yes, I'm a human being and I'm worth to celebrate. So in this whole journey, I found one of my key strengths that I have a very, very, very persistent soul in me. And that is something that never bowed down to anyone. Maybe it's begin from my birth, because when in this world, everybody, every child actually got chance. They're welcomed by their family, and I was a person like, okay, um, is it visible to all of you? Yes. So I am a person when I choose to be here. Maybe that's not my choice. My God chose to send me here. The timing was too much troublesome for my family, for my mom and everyone. Maybe they don't actually welcome me. So I was the totally unwanted person in my family. And when I knocked to this world gate, my mom was only on her 13th country, so it was the quite tough decision for whole family that my mom kept me, and she decided she made this strong decision that she want to keep me. And I got the ticket and I become my mom's child actually, when all my family members, they don't want, and when they know it's a child, that's girl, they started to feel burdened that what they actually will do with a girl. And in my family, it's a thing like we were in a rural area, so the girl should be get married within their 13 or 14. That was the ideal marriage age. And in our village, girls were treating like girls only to enhance the family status. How how it was settled by the monetary or status of husband. That actually was the standard to judge how much a family or a girl actually worthy of this society. And no one in our family actually passed their school exam, or most of the girls, they don't continue their study after class 5. Most of them get married. So you can sense, like most of others girls in our society, same for me as well. I was the burden for my family, and they were thinking to have me, and they thought, yes, that's a girl with a good looking face, so maybe we can get a good good husband for her, so let's keep her. And it's only for moments. I was the guest like in my house, so no education, no money, no books, no fee, no exam, nothing. And they were thinking like I was to be destined to be married. And the number you can see, can you visit, is it visible to all of you, the 69 numbers?
Yes.
That's the number actually. From class 7 to till my university, I actually have broken down this number of marriage proposal actually. It was like a game between me in background. Whenever my family got an invitation or from a bridegroom family, it was me in behind, and I was collecting all information in any way by talking with that person or their family or something. I was desperate to bring all of those marriage proposal actually. And currently it was crazy number. I actually, in my sense, I broken down nearly 69 marriage proposals. So it wasn't easy. And I got different sort of bad reputation. And my family thought, okay, it's a girl, no one is going to be marry her. And everybody, like I couldn't dare to visit my relatives' house because they were thinking like, it's a girl, until now she didn't got married, it's a shame. So it was like a family without friend, without someone, because I was in a very, very, very rural area, and that's so difficult for me. And having good looking face, there is a sort of teasing or kidnapping thing I have faced, because my dad has a little bit lands in his house. We had a small house, and I'm the only girl with one brother, so it was a good candidate to get by others' family. So it was like I got lots of threat, and I got to face an attempt of acid throwing. Actually, some guy, he sent his proposal and I was declined, and I got threatened to be kidnapped, and he threw out those acid by this window, and I saved. It was like a blessing for me. I saved. How I saved, I don't know, but it was a great save for me that I got actually saved from those attacks. And in my intermediate time, it was a dark time in my life that for total 3 months, I got like I was in a prison. I couldn't get out from my house, from my room. No place was safe for me. And it was like everybody is cursing. And when I talk to them, hey, please allow me. I want to enroll in university. I want to I don't want to be treated like this. I have some dreams. And there is a moment after my SSC exam that whether I'm going to be married or I'm going to be educated in university. So I had to undergo a hunger strike. And for 5 days, I didn't eat anything. And it was blown up to my mom. And she, at the end, she was like, okay. She was my great friend. So she was like, okay, we'll consider how we can help you, because we also don't have that much support, financial or guest or anyone actually to sponsor you. So let's see what we can do. And on that moment, my mom need to undergo a crucial surgery, but she saved that money and allowed me actually to enroll in university. And on that moment, my whole family was like cursing my mom, and my mom and me was the villain on that whole village area, because other girls started to fight like me. They were trying to following me, like Shabnam was there, why I'm not. So it was like I was being the villain in my whole village. And on that moment, there is a happening, something happened with me that I liked someone. I got broken down the relationship because that person didn't respect my freedom. He also thought women also only for taking care of family, but I was asking for freedom, and nobody is there to allow me. And one family, they actually attempt to kidnap me. And on that moment, on that day, my mom actually revoked me a lot. And until that moment, I fight with all world, but I couldn't take that my mom actually revoking me. She was my bottom line, but why she? So when, and that morning, my mom left the house, I was in a devastated moment that I I went outside with my mom's prescription. I know she had to take some sleeping pill due to her health condition, because she had me on her 13, and after that she had gone through lots of major difficulties, so she need to take some medicine. So from morning 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., I went through all city in different 8 to 10 pharmacy. I bought nearly 30 pills, and my mom had some 13 pills. In total, I took all 43 sibling pills. That was 12 p.m. Nobody was in home. And I gone through a moment like actually how it's feeling when a person is going to die, how pathetic those moments a person desperately want to live. I was like that. I don't know how I got a strength on that moment. I cannot see anything, all world like is roaming around. And I feel I hear a voice like I have to found a box. I know there is a box with lots of tamarind in our house, and anyhow I had to vomit out, and I crawl from room to room. I ventilate all boxes. Then I found those tamarind and I ate, and I didn't have any strength. I just crawled to washroom, and from that moment to evening, I wasn't there. I was just vomited. I didn't have, after that, I didn't had any sense. And in evening, when my mom get back, there is no one in home because I was locked in our house. When my mom got back, she was shocked because full veranda, full corridor was like some vomited. And she screamed out. She got to me, to the washroom. She took me to the hospital, and I got saved. I not only saved myself, actually. From that moment, I felt this is my rebirth. And from that moment, I started to feel like it's enough. I live my life. Because from that moment, each day is like a gift to me. I'm living. Because I know what is the feeling of that last breath, how precious all oxygen. I feel that from my bottom of heart. And whenever I have seen, I have witnessed anyone that they are going to that is, I tried to pull out. And from that moment, I committed to myself that this is enough, Shabnam. From this moment, I am the only one person who will decide my fate. What I want, what I will do, everything I will decide. Nobody is going to decide my fate. Nobody is going to give me any fate, whatever it is. And from that moment, actually, I found myself that all sort of problem. Whenever people see your face or there is no money or something, I felt it's enough. Whatever I have, that's enough for me. And I got enrolled in university. My mom, from my father's salary, they allow me $10 in each month. $10 is equivalent to nearly 1,000 currency in our country on that time. So in each month, I got 1,000. And I started to earn my own pocket money. So I do tuition. I was very good at drawing, painting. So I started to start my own freelancing business on stage making and interior designing. So in my university, in my area, whenever someone want to do a program, they hire me, and I was there to design those interior, and that was my source to continue my own education. And in this meantime, actually, lots of hurdles I faced there. And on that moment, I always earned my own money. And whenever some people try to say, okay, no private job, you have to take care of family, you have to only go for government job, secure job, I was like, no, I'll find the dream job for me, and it's my choice. If you say no choice, this is definitely my choice. So I start to have my own blissful life, and I met one person in my life that person actually become my soulmate. He also inspired me. We have undergone lots of problems that we together fight for each other, and all sort of discrimination I have faced, like starting wearing hijab. I went to attend the national debate competition. I was the champion on debate competition. So when I went to participate, the director of the television program, he just told me, okay, you are wearing hijab, you are not qualified to present your debate in this national platform, because if girls see you are wearing hijab, they will also feel that we are actually sharing. So we need to be secular. And then I challenge him, okay, think there are crore plus women who actually wearing hijab. If they watch me, I am here and I am actually doing debate. What will happen if tomorrow all those women come outside and they will also come to you? And he was like, stopped, and he was puzzled, and he couldn't find any answer. And then they allow me to participate, and I was become the champion of the debate program. When I got first class second in my MBA program, I went to join the one public university as a teacher. They got rejected me only for wearing hijab, and they tagged me, are you from Jamaat Shibir, that's Islamic opinionist party or something? And it was like hurdles in each area. Like when I was pregnant, I never stopped. Lots of people actually, they tried to go against me because I organized my own program for students. And then as a pregnant woman, I always go outside at 8 a.m. morning, and I came back 9 p.m. each day. I work, I go through job, and till 10 months. Like in any moment in my whole life, I actually never bow down to anyone, any challenge or anything. So when, as a woman, I went to coach the board of directors or top leaders, they were like, oh, you are a woman. How you can be coach? We all have white hairs. How you are going to teach us? Simply, you're not fit for this position. And what you are waiting for? You should quit. And then I went through the coaching education. I didn't have any money, so I came up with a proposal to that company. Hey, I will work for your organization. Would you please allow me to get this certification? So I worked for that organization to get my coach learning fee. And when I developed my own organization, D-Leader, we funded lots of entrepreneurs. We give free coaching session to the entrepreneurs and top leaders who in need. Sometimes I become the women for women, and for all men and women. Now I become human for human to give them the coaching. And I felt that all person need a safe space where they can explore their vulnerability, where they can transform their vulnerability into strength. So I want to become that person, and that's why I developed my own organization. D-leader. All people actually said, why you keep this name, D-leader? I said, as a human being, we compromise with a lot of things. Maybe we may not have money, food, or anything, or a status, but as a human being, we cannot compromise with dignity. So that's my organization, and from that organization, we organize sustainability leading program. Like for the first time, we are offering ESG coaching to develop coaching mindset, because all the time leaders are there, some leaders, not the all, to maintain the law, the rules. But as a human being, I always feel that it's not enough actually, because it's not enough to only maintain the law. We have to go beyond the law to make our world sustainable, to leave our future generation where they will feel safe actually. And why I'm sharing these stories, because in my whole life I have suffered lots of failure, lots of rebuke, lots of protestant from family, from neighbor, from friends, being lonely for a lot of time. But I also create my own group of people and community to stand with all those women and men, to make them understand we are human beings and we deserve to live in dignity. Thank you.
Oh, Sabnam, you talked about giving Lena a hug. I want to give you a huge hug and just a huge medal of bravery for sharing your story today. I'm so emotional. I'm really emotional. I apologize for that. I felt it was interesting as you shared that the majority of that story was represented through the numbers. And I remember those numbers when you were sharing those with me, the 13 that your mother was when she was pregnant with you, the 69 marriage proposals, the 3 months of being, subjected to potential acid attempts, and five days of a hunger strike to make sure that you as a woman were able to get your education, the 43 pills. So I'm so glad you struggled and crawled to live and have that rebirth, because I love you so much. And you're just so brave, and what an amazing representative that you are to all of us. I think we in other countries think, we struggle as women, and we do in some ways, we all have our own struggles, but this puts it into perspective, as far as like, wow, like what a great beacon of strength and hope that you are. So thank you so very, very much for that. I mean, this is why we have these presentations to hear, hearing Lena's story and your story. And now we're going to go into Liz Cunningham, who is a storyteller as well and has worked with people all over the world. And I've had the privilege of reading her books and reading her other pieces that she's written, from just the most powerful, positive stories that are out there. And just to make a formal introduction, Liz Cunningham, she's the author of numerous articles and the award-winning Ocean Country. I know the first time I interviewed Liz, it was when she had just released Ocean Country, who had a foreword by Carl Safina, very, very well known. Her mission is to inspire and empower others to protect the life of this planet and achieve social justice. She speaks to a diverse range of audiences, from inner city, high school, to universities and large public venues such as the Commonwealth Club and the New England Aquarium, such an impressive place. In addition, Liz is the co-founder of kurthahn.org, the online archive for the founder of Outward Bound, Kurt Hahn, and learn more about her network at lizcunningham.net. And I'll say that my son went through Outward Bound, and it was just life transforming for him. And so glad that you are connected in that space. But Liz is just, I want to say, when we talk about people who bring peace, Liz brings peace to me without, she doesn't even know it, but she brings peace to me on a regular basis because she's one of those very calm people who have a presence, that steadfast next step to take in a crisis situation. And she just brings so much solace, not just to me, but I know to so many that follow her. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Liz Cunningham. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm really happy to be here with you all, Michelle, Constance, Lena, Sabnam. Your stories are just so powerful, and I'm going to take those with me. And I just can't thank you enough. And I also want to thank you for just having such extraordinary authenticity with coming forward with them, because that's what we need right now. We really need to be connecting with each other as deeply as we can. I also want to say that in preparing for this, and I was putting my thoughts together, I thought, gee, I'm not sure this is going to fit. And then as you were speaking, I felt so at home, because I as well was really thinking about living more deeply with heart, about authenticity, about dignity, about interconnection and regeneration, and also about connecting with ancestors and indigenous traditions. So I felt so at home listening to your stories. I'm just really grateful for that. I want to just tell you a little bit about who I am. I originally started working in ocean conservation because that was my deepest love. And I've always felt that one of the things that gives you the most power in the world and the most energy is to serve what you love, if you can, because then your battery recharges naturally. And that's the best antidote to burnout, because you take care of what you love. You don't quit on what you love. So I just want to share with you one or two stories, maybe three, that were meaningful to me. One of these is a person that I just stumbled on this week that I was reading an interview about, and that is Leah Penniman. I'm going to share my screen here so you can see her. And she is the founder of Soulfire Farm, and she works to end racism and social injustice through this farm, and they work on issues related to food sovereignty and recreating ancestral connections to the land through that farm. And so I was reading an interview with her, and I was sort of excitedly reading. And of course, the time that we're living in now, every day you check the news feed and you just feel like things are so unstable, at times disturbing, and at times, in a way, it feels like your hope is being destroyed. And she spoke something in this interview that was so stunning to me. She told me about, this is in the introduction to her book, about a story that when women were living through the chaos and horror of enslavement in Africa, that right before they went on the slave ships, they braided seeds into their hair for their descendants to carry with them. And in the interview, she said that they literally braided hope into their hair. And this was such a powerful story to me, because I was reading the interview and I clipped out the quote because I really want it to be her words. She said, when I'm faced with hopelessness, the challenging situations and all that we're up against, I call into mind this powerful story. Because if these ancestors facing the horrors I can't even imagine still had the hope to carry seeds, then I sure as hell better not give up on my descendants. And that really spoke to me of the moment that we're in, and the moments that we will be in. And I do think that all of the details of sustainability and all of the details of biological regeneration and cultural regeneration, all of them require that kind of connection with ancestors and also a really powerful connection with future generations, and let that drive us. Maybe we're not courageous, maybe we're tired, maybe we feel like we failed, but we decide, how can I quit on the beauty of the people who have preceded me? I also wanted to share with you one of the most special stories to me, a woman that I really admire. Her name is Kirsten Forsberg, and she is the founder of Planet Oceano in Peru, which spearheaded the largest marine protected area to protect oceanic manta rays in the world. And just to fill you in, if you happen not to have met an oceanic manta ray, there are these incredible creatures, and their wingspan can be over 20 feet. They can literally drape over a car. And the story I want to tell you about, to me, illuminates certain very important aspects of sustainability, but I do want to tell it to you in a very personal form, because I think that the story will have more heft that way. And that is that I myself have a very special relationship with these animals, which live all over the world. This is the map of where they are, and they live, they even come up near the coast of Maine where I live. This is a photograph someone else took of me with one recently. They are these enormous animals that feed on very, very tiny plankton. And about 10 years ago, I had a very unusual situation in West Papua where I was doing research, where I was swept off a reef in a very remote location and I lost the boat. And it was such a remote area, I really thought, I don't know if I'll ever get back to the boat or they'll ever find me. And I was circled by 3 oceanic manta rays. And I was completely transfixed by them. And then all of a sudden, I saw the coral reef where I'd been swept away. And I believe what they did is they took me down to another current that brought me back. But ever since then, I have had this burning curiosity about these animals that I felt such kinship with. And so now I want to tell you a story about them that relates to Kirsten. And that is that manta rays are often caught in nets and killed. And very often the meat is chopped up and sold. Also, they have these gills. You can see these horizontal lines there, and that's how they breathe. And very often, parts of those gills in Asia are cut up and they are sold in Chinese markets for fake science, aphrodisiac, or to cure. It's what you call pseudoscience. So they're chopped up, dried, and sold in a market. So manta rays are endangered around the world. And a couple of years ago, I think almost 10 years ago, a very large manta ray was caught in a net in Peru. And so the fishermen decided to bring it in and harvest it and sell it. And this photograph is a photograph of it. And it went all over the world on social media. And there was enormous outrage. It was just the last straw. I mean, it was just like, oh my God, how could you do this? And all of this meat from this manta ray, which weighed over a ton, probably sold for less than $500. It was just the most horrific waste. And as you can imagine how I might have felt about this is like family hung out to dry. And many people around the world felt outraged. But at that time, Kirsten Forsberg was working to preserve manta rays in Peru. And she knew that the fishermen who brought the manta ray in, the media were hounding him. He didn't even want to touch his cell phone anymore. And so what she decided, imagine how you feel in this situation. You feel disgusted. you feel outraged. But what did she decide to do as a conservationist? She said she felt bad for him. And some of her staff went over to meet him and say, hey, we're really sorry. You were just fishing. And now you got caught in this international outrage. And that fisherman is named Edgardo Cruz. And so they began dialogue with him. He said, yeah, I mean, the manna got stuck. We thought we could sell the meat. He didn't take actions that deserved that international outrage. And so they started dialogue with him because Kirsten's philosophy is that sustainability and conservation are about community building. It's all, and as one of you had said, about friendship. And so they started to talk to him. They said, hey, we're forming a fishermen's alliance. Maybe you could be a part of it. And now he became a part of the program to put together sustainable ecotourism in Peru. And in addition, it's no longer legal to harvest a manta ray in Peru, and the ecotourism industry is booming. So many people now go to Peru to see mantas, and this is a large form of income for those local communities. And so now if a manta ray is caught in a net, they cut the net and free them. And this has formed a new form of income for those local communities. And I want to say one more piece about what Kirsten did was that she also realized she needed to elevate the status of the manta ray in the local culture. And so, of course, they did a lot of educational outreach. They did outreach to the fishing industry. And this is one of my favorite things, is that they also had a manta ray parade in the local town. And they really realized we need to elevate this animal as being part of our cultural heritage, something that we feel kinship with. And I think this is just one of the most powerful stories to me, because I realized this was an issue that could just really push my buttons, that I could be so enraged and antagonistic, and yet say, okay, the problem is in the system that we have. We have this colonial system, we have an extractive system, that's causing the problem. But the individual people, wherever there's an opportunity that we can find each other and hear each other out, then there's hope. And to me, that was really one of the most important things that I wanted to relay about sustainability, is that sense of community. And as you've already said, authenticity and kinship, and a real sense of dignity, that the fishermen had dignity and that the conservationists have dignity. We can all have dignity together if we respect each other's differences.
Oh, Liz, that was just such a powerful story. I think what resonated with me so quickly on the last story was, that we can go in. I think also as women, we have a lot of passion, we have a lot of fire in us, and we could go in with that antagonistic or outrage, but that she didn't do that. She went in with seeing how to collaborate and find that level of respect and to bring everybody together in that collaboration. And I thought that I felt like one of the most powerful statements there is that how can we quit on those who precede me? How can we quit? Some days I am tired. I'm tired. I think, oh, let's send it up to the young people of the world like Subnam and Constance and Lena and you and and we can't. So many people have worked so hard to get to this point. And so it's such a beautiful, beautiful part, and that that we braid the seeds of hope into this next stage of where we're going, that we can braid that into, maybe that's every aspect of what we do, is braid that together. And I will ask you, Liz, to help in our next stage of some Q&A. There's so many questions here. It's so powerful. You've shared some of your mentors with us, Liz. And so I think I will ask Subnam and Lena, who have been your women mentors, or helping you to lead as a woman?
Well, I would say there have been very important women in this journey. I would say my grandma first, my mother, and other grandma that life gives me is Mama Agustina from the Misak people. She's a I forgot this word in English. Widow? No, widow. No, is partera, which is midwife. Midwife is a very important person for learning about connection with female medicine. So that's another mentor. I got Michelle. It's a very good mentor for me. And I have friends that have been like my sister and my sisters of life, my friends. They are been like very good mentors in my journey. I will say that to special women.
Thank you, Lena. And Mama Gustina, is that how you say? I remember meeting her. She happened to be visiting during that time that we were there. So that was really special. And people came from all over to hear her and watch her go through the process that she did as a midwife. So yeah, thank you. And thank you so much, Sabna.
To me, definitely it's my mom first, because she is the iron lady to me, and I really love I really being passionate from getting my courage from her, because she also a iron lady. She always break the rules society put in front of her. And when I was sick on my 7th month, all actually lose hope that yes, it's not possible. They started to get me buried, and she took me. She was only on her 14. She took me to another city alone to get me healthier. So in always all my life, whenever I face a problem, I talk to her. Mom, this is the problem. When I had a problem with my relationship or anywhere or new job, she is a great listener. So that's the powerful thing I learned from her, that actually when she is listening with care, I feel that I am being heard. That's actually the missing part for lots of women in our country. And then I got one of my teacher, and mostly my mentor are men. I thought they all are human angel. My school teacher, he always pushed me because I was the first girl as per my academic results. So he always inspired me, go beyond the books. And I don't have any books in my school life. So he always lent me his book. He always bought his books, and he collect books for me and gave me actually. And in my university life, I faced one teacher. He was the guest room teacher. She actually, Mastura ma'am, she is a sportsman, and I was a sports person as well as a field and track athlete. So whenever I was stressed, she invited me in the field and said, just run, just run around the. And when I get out all of this negative energy. I felt tired and I got in my room and I just slept and I forgot what was happening with me. So I found she was so much inspiring with her games Jill. It actually gave me power. Then I met co-partner in my job. There are lots of like Faria and everyone, they actually inspire me. And I met you, Michelle. You're always like one step ahead to pull me out, hey, something do this. So that was really wonderful. I felt that whenever we actually need to go what we need. Because if we are not looking for the help may be beside me, but we cannot get. That's from my life, I can say. Whenever I go out, I found someone, angel, there was actually waiting for me. That can be male or female. So we have to wake up and ask for help, actually.
Oh, I love the focus on it. It can be male or female, of course. And I know that we need to stand with men.
I just missed
yeah,
one
ahead.
name. Sorry, I'm
Please.
taking.
Yes.
That is Ani Turner. You met Ani and Isabel. This couple actually helped me a lot because when I started to become a coach, Arnie, he was a great mentor and he always pushed me that, Shabnam, you have a Jill to never give up, so don't give up. That's so great.
So inspiring. Thank you, Subnam. Thank you, Lena. Liz, jump in with a question, and I do have a question for you as well, but go ahead with some questions.
Well, I was really struck by Lena, Sabnam, both of your talks. And Lena, as you talked about listening, and I think we are starting to hear more and more of that. And I, as well, feel like I am listening to the earth, and the earth is speaking to me. And we are starting to acknowledge that the earth is an animate, living being. And that's not being treated like it's such a crazy idea, and that it can guide us. So, Lena, I was curious if you just talk more about that and your personal experiences.
I will say that more than listening is to feel, try to feel differently, and is something that you have just like sleeping, and you have to wake that sense, and nature will guide you. I think the body, the feeling you have, the senses are a tool, but there are another types of feeling or to listen that you just don't have it in your body, but in your heart, in your mind, in your sixth sense. And from my experience as a biologist, from science perspective, you in the university and school they teach you how to be in the experimental, in the lab, and try to have some proofs of these feelings, and you cannot find it in a lab, you cannot find it in from the science perspective. But and that was very difficult to me to arrive and to talk to the indigenous people, because they won't show you the proofs that we expect to have in science. But I think that when you open your heart and you open your sixth sense to experiment different types of feeling, you just uh, that this is the point of the where the magic starts, you know. And indigenous people, or at the Misak people that have been my mentors for sustainability, uh, they say that you learn from your dreams. That is crazy for us, you know, like dreams, how? And dreams have like the open to a bookshelf of knowledge that you can't imagine. So be very how to say, be very conscious about your dreams. Try to write what you remember on your dreams and try to ask in your dreams when you can. Or you just keep training your dreams to try to be aware on your dream that you are sleeping, and try to ask what's your purpose, and what's the decision you have to make. Yeah, that's a very important tool to feel and to understand this magic world of dreams, and all the knowledge of nature is in your dreams. They learn the medicine of the plants through dreams. The plants appear in your dreams. They say that, not at the moment. It hasn't happened to me with a plant in my dream that said, just this is the medicine you need. But plants are everywhere, right? Are in our territories because have been evolved from many years ago to keep and to give you the medicine you need. See? So so try to keep an eye on your dreams, because there is a bookshelf that we have just left away, and we need to take the book you need in the moment.
I'll just jump in and say that I know that dreams are so powerful, and I don't usually remember my dreams. So I have been starting to ask before I go to bed that I do remember them, because I think it's a directive, like I want this to happen. And I will say that after witnessing Lena in nature so many times, that there is a process with listening, any type of listening, but in nature is like the quiet, letting the time and being quiet in nature as well. So thank you. Great question, Liz. I'll let you ask that.
Well, Sabnam, you put a little heart up and said you loved that. So I would be just so curious why you loved it, and also any parallel experiences that you've had.
Would you please repeat parallel experience of? Liz, would you please repeat your question? It's just I couldn't
Oh,
hear
sure.
the.
Yeah. So I noticed that you had said that you loved what Lena said, and I was wondering if there are any parallel or similar experiences that you would like to share that you've had as you were growing up and as you are an adult now.
I loved her story because I can sense that actually how it's precious to her. So I love that moment. That's why I give the love, and it's connect with me that each moment when we listen the unheard voice that may be ours or others from the group of people to whom we are thinking, okay, their world and our world is different and it's a standard by science. But when the door is opened and that's totally full of our beyond the expectation, what we are receiving, that's so valuable. So the value, the oath, the warmth of this knowledge, actually, that's truly a wake-up call. I found truly connected, and I had it in my village because I had time with farmer. I do crop in my own land. My mom helped me to do agro-based work in my village. So when first it was like, okay, how I'm going to pass time with those elderly villagers. But when they start to talk about the land, how they feel, how the touch, how those crops, they are not the expert, but they can accurately share the timing without seeing calendar, without any judgment, any technology or machineries. It was like different window of knowledge. Actually, we just need to listen, we just need to feel that. So that connection and bond with life knowledge, when I'm passing through, it's like it's going directly to the heart. So when Lena was sharing, I felt that warmth, when I passing those time with my elderly in my village who were actually rare treasure to me.
Thank you so much. And I know that we're pretty much out of time, but I just have one quick question for everybody, and that includes Constance as well. Do you have a self-care, a way to self-care through difficult times, or just on a daily basis? And if so, what is that? I'll just say for me, I try to meditate on a daily basis, right when I wake up in the morning.
So for me, chocolate sometimes to bring it back to a light note, but no, I think it's for me, it's to just remind myself that everything is gonna be okay and that I am in charge of myself and that I am able to get up in the morning and do what makes me happy. And so
Beautiful.
And to me, it was each day I pass nearly 20 to 30 minutes for me. I call it this is me time. I love to walk and I love to look at trees. I love green. I feel that whenever I look at those trees, they are like my silent friend who actually bestowed their love, their blessings through my breathing. So I feel grateful toward them and I feel energized. My all stressed just goes out from my eyes. So I love to actually, and whenever I feel this stressed, I love to walk.
And having the trees, I will say, with Dhaka being the number one most densely populated city in the entire planet, I wasn't expecting to see as many trees as I did. So it was very surprising. And so thank you for sharing.
From my perspective, I will say that I have ritual of gratitude to the earth that I learned from the elders. They teach me that we need to be grateful every day for our meals, for our house, for our all the benefits that we receive from nature, from the water, and keep in mind every single morning that there are spirits from nature that gives you that, and they teach me to get a spirit from some liquor or something, and I spread like a little how do you say that? Uh, yeah, just spread a little of this liquor,
Offering.
offering, and keep in mind to be grateful for all the spirits that gives you everything in the day, and ask them to guide you on the decisions and on the work you have to do on the day to be like aligned to their purpose or to their plan for you.
Beautiful. And Liz?
Well, have lots of different things depending upon the day. But I do meditate in the morning. I love to be out in nature. Writing, journaling for myself is a way to come into my interior and find a place of peace in the midst of lots of things going on. I've been noticing lately, though, as things are getting more and more chaotic the last couple of years, that I do take vows after I meditate. And the vows I take were written by the eco-philosopher Joanna Macy. But I'm not so sure the words of the vows matter, but it's a sense of taking care of other living beings and drawing strength from the living earth. And those are part of the words of the vows. But I think part of it that's so important is I vow to care for the earth and honor other living beings. But lately I've been really noticing the relief because I am not vowing to save it. I am not vowing to have this on my shoulders every day. I am just vowing to engage with the world, to do the best I can, and to honor the efforts of others and to be in community with them. And I'm noticing as the world gets more chaotic, I'm needing to remind myself of that as well. But certainly among those vows are drawing strength from the earth, honoring ancestors, and then especially future generations, and vowing to take the time so that I can approach the world and come into the world with the best heart that I have, the best I have to give, so I can honor the good hearts of everybody that I encounter.
Oh,
Beautiful.
wow, what a perfect way to end this particular session here. And I cannot thank each of you enough for your time, your insights, your focus on what, the projects that you're working on and making this world a better place, but without having all this burden. I mean, I've learned so much today to be able to take into my own sustainability leadership pathway, and I hope that all of our viewers do as well. I'm going to just say thank all of you today. I'm going to pass it over to Constance to do our closing. And again, thank you all so much for being here today.
Thank you. I was deeply moved and inspired by the stories also today, by the wisdom, passion that we all shared in this space. Women in sustainability are not just making an impact, we are redefining the future. Sorry. We're innovator, problem solvers, leaders, and change makers. And today was a powerful reminder of the strength we hold when we lift each other up. I saw a lot of we haven't been meeting all together, and I just felt like such in a sacred circle today, and that felt very good. And so I wanted to thank all of the speakers today, and Michelle, and to all of you who are going to be viewing this webinar. Your presence, your voices, and your dedication to a better world matter. But let's be clear, this is not just a conversation, it's a movement, and it doesn't stop here. I challenge each of you to take what we've learned today and turn it into action. Support the women in your life, speak up, collaborate, keep pushing forward, because together we are unstoppable. And if you want to stay connected, continue this conversation, or get involved with the US Green Chamber of Commerce, we would love to hear from you. Thank you for being part of this incredible journey. Let's keep breaking barrier, leading with courage, and building a future that we all can be proud of. Until next time, stay bold, stay passionate, and stay committed to the change you want to see in the world. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Michelle
Thank
and
you
Constance.
so much. Lots of blessings for all of you.